Hello. That's right. I'm here with another live video stream. So there's not going to be a whole lot of flashy, big intro things because I just can't tonight. I mean, all day today. I mean, really, this is kind of what's been going on in my head.
What was that?
Oh, it was nothing, sir.
Your behavior is most suspicious.
Yeah, it's been one of those days. It's been one of those weeks. So I want to tell you about my day today and why I decided to do this stream. It's kind of last minute. I appreciate anybody who's popping in for like I said, just completely impromptu. Hey, Kaylee or Keely. Oh, I can't even say people's names right today. Hey, Keely Chow, roll tide. How are you doing? So thank you for popping in. I don't know how long this stream is going to go. It may be 10 minutes, maybe 2 hours. Just depends on what we end up talking about. But there's been weird things going on this week, and I just felt like I needed to talk about it because you guys are my therapy. I mean, really, you're just. I mean, yeah. I apologize for that. And be with the starving pygmies down there in New Guinea. Amen. So I wanted to start this out with just Keely answering that is just I the world seriously has just I feel like we have slipped into
Here in Cloud Cuckoo Land, there are no rules. There's no government, no babysitters, no bedtimes, no frowny faces, no bushy mustaches, and no negativity of any kind.
You just said the word no like 1,000 times.
And there's also no consistency.
Amen. That's what we're living in right now. That's what it feels like, except it's not nearly as cute and or funny. But seriously, I just so I want to talk about this. Just happened to me a little while ago, and I was just like, this is the craziness that everybody's dealing with right now. It's just absolutely lunacy. Hell, Kamikaze D. Thanks for joining me. But so today, William Shatner, one of my favorite acting heroes, decided to start going after people who are not wanting to get vaccinated, who haven't thought that the Wuhan cold was as big a deal and stuff. And it really kind of surprised me. I'm like, because usually he's pretty level-headed, and I mean, he doesn't always have the same take as me and stuff like that, but he's usually pretty funny, and he's a little bit of a trolling and stuff, but he's really clever in his responses, which I really love. He's just got a fantastic sense of humor, which we really got to see. If you ever got to watch the show Boston Legal, was really good. So anyway, I get on there, and he tweeted something today, and let me just pull it up here, so because it turned into this whole thing, and oh good Lord, it got stupid real fast. So he had tweeted, see if I can find it here. I'm sorry, there's this whole long line of things that that started this whole thing. But I ended up having to block somebody because they were just that batshit crazy. That's why the stream's called. That's why the avatar for this stream was like a batshit crazy symbol, because people are batshit crazy. I don't know when it started. I don't know. Did I just not notice it coming? But anyway, so I mean, basically, William Shatner said there was somebody who was saying in another tweet. I can't find it now. It disappeared into the tweet universe. I don't know. Anyway, that they were amazed they were still alive because Hail Curtis. Yeah. But he was saying that, this guy tweeted, "Hey, I'm amazed I'm still alive. I've been going to church. I've been meeting with my family. I've been going to family reunions with 90-year-old people. Nobody's been sick. Everybody's fine. And I'm just, and I'm just living my life and everything's fine." Well, William Shatner tweeted back at him something like, "Don't you just hate smug, ignorant people?" And I'm like, so, I mean, my response, and I tweeted directly to William Shatner, and he actually responded, which kind of shocked me. I'm just like, wow, I expected other people to say something, but, but not him. So that was something unpredictable. This is what his response was to me. Smug, meaning that he thinks he's immune when he's not. So that was his response to me, which was fairly level-headed. But I mean, because when he called people smug, this is what I had said to him. Smug, how do we know that? Perhaps he's just stating facts. Just because a few of us aren't lemmings doesn't mean we're smug. Smug is acting sanctimonious, like know-it-alls who think they know better how to live my life than I do. And I figured that was pretty level-headed. I'm just like, you're assigning motives to somebody when they're like, it wasn't clear. Like you're saying he's smug. He didn't sound smug to me. He sounded, and that's the thing with tweeting and texting and all that stuff. It is so easy to misunderstand what somebody's saying, to misunderstand what somebody's talking about, because you can't hear inflection. You can't, you know what I mean? It's just you cannot, so many misunderstandings happen in tweets. I mean, I have made really simple comments and had people just lose their freaking minds. I have texted somebody something and they're like, "What do you mean by that?" And I'm just like, just what I said. Like they were trying to infer a meaning, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, I thought you meaning the blah blah blah." And I'm just like, see, and it is so easy to misunderstand somebody when all you have is the written words, unless you're J.R. Tolkien and you are like a wordsmith. And then it's great. Then you're great. I mean, you're everything's fine if you know how to use and write the English language. I mean, you can put all kinds of inflection and stuff in there, but if you're just the average Joe throwing out a 20-word tweet or whatever, man, that can lead to a lot of misunderstandings. And so that's all I was saying is, like, let's give this guy the benefit of the doubt. He's just saying, hey, I lived my life and nobody's dead. The whole country of Sweden can say that right now. I just lived my life, and like in their entire country, like 18,000 people died. 18,000 in their entire country. Now, they're not the United States, they're not super populous and stuff, but still, like they had no restrictions, no mask mandates, nothing like that of any kind. And they're fine. They're absolutely fine. I don't know. Let me get some chats here. Christian, what do you think the Native Americans would progress technologically if they had not been invaded ever? The other person's response: they were set in their ways, not even possible. I think it's, yeah. On that question, I don't think they'd have ever, because there was no motivation to. That was just their they were happy. They were content with the way things were going. Yeah. I think that you could say that of a lot of cultures, that like they'd have never progressed. And I know this is, I'll get canceled and hated for this, but everybody wants to come in and claim now that they built America. And it was them, and they were their race or their gender or their this would build. I'm sorry, but predominantly the building of America was because of white Anglo-Saxon European people. They were escaping oppression from their countries. Now, and that's not to say that others did not contribute, but they were the real central driving force of it. They were Christians that were fleeing persecution from England because they weren't the right kind of Christians. There was a whole different group of the Chinese people or the Asian people that helped build the railroads and stuff. But it's like, no, everybody wants to claim that, oh, we did all this. And it's just like, you hear black people now trying to say like, oh, well, we built America. America wouldn't be anything without us. I'm just like, just thinking out loud here. If you hadn't been brought to America, you guys would still be living in huts because yeah, I know. See, this is super racist. It's not racist. It's truth. It's history. This is provable fact. You can go back, and it's just, if you actually go back and look at real history, it's clear as day. Most of the major, technological advances and everything came from European people. And that's not to say they were the only ones, because Asian people had that kind of stuff, and it came from different places and stuff. But in America, that's where it predominantly came from. But I'm sick of everybody trying to claim, oh, we did it. It's like, well, if you mean we as in everybody who came here, then yes, but just you and your group, no. Possible them. Well, you're wrong. I'm not sure why that. Curtis is saying something else here. No one can know. Oh, you're wrong. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, it's just. I couldn't believe what was going on. Anyway, this back to the original story. Sorry, I kind of went. But this girl, her handle, I think was named Sarah. I ended up blocking her because she was so just crazy, just lunatic crazy. She was like, oh, well, I hope you're healthy while you're out there killing other people's families and murdering children in the street. It was basically that. It was like deranged. And that's finally what I said to her. I'm like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You're deranged. You are a lunatic. I was like, how did you take what I said? I didn't say any of these things. And you have transformed me into Jack the Ripper. What? How is that even how is that even from what I said? Because she was going off like, oh, you were saying that people who get vaccinated were sanctimonious. And I'm like, I never said that. I said what he was saying was sanctimonious. It was looking down on people who chose not to get vaccinated and chose to just kind of use common sense. I don't know, wash your hands after you use the bathroom and stuff that most normal, average people who have any common sense whatsoever just do every single day. You try and be clean, try and do it's like, and then I said, look, lady, how many people have you given the flu to? How many people have you given colds to? How many people did you give COVID that you don't know about? Because that's just it. As human beings, we are germ, bacteria, and virus factories. That's that's just biology. That's just the nature of what we are as human beings. And like, you can't help it. I'm not saying you went out there and did it on purpose, but to accuse people of giving people the beer flu on purpose because I didn't get a shot or I didn't get, because you know what? I haven't had COVID yet. I haven't had the vaccine. I haven't done anything really. I wore a mask at work because they pay me. And I'm like, well, if you pay me, I'll wear a mask. Oh, okay. But I wouldn't have done it just on my own. I went into stores. I didn't wear a mask, but I also didn't run up and be like, hey, how you doing? Can I reach past you to get some carrots? I used common sense. I didn't get right in people's faces. I didn't, but and I've still not had it. And if I did, It apparently wasn't bad because I never suffered any ill effects from it. But I mean, she just, and that's what I was like trying to explain to her. I'm like, hey, biology would suggest that like you have probably given people colds. I was like, well, I hope you live in a bubble because have you ever sneezed? Because when you sneeze, I mean, you send bacteria, water droplets, and all kinds of stuff out of your mouth at like over 100 miles an hour most of the time. The average sneeze clocks in at like 100 and something miles an hour or something like this crazy amount. It's like the wind pressure is unbelievable. Like you can't control that unless you're just walking around like, all right. I mean, nobody does that. What? And I'm just like, unless you are prepared to live in a bubble, you are affecting other people. Life is not risk averse. Life is about risk. Life is about connecting with other people. Yeah, if you want to go and never touch anything and never be involved with anybody ever again, oh, okay, sure. Okay, yeah, you can live like that. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to be that way. Anyway, but that simple little statement to William Shatner in his tweet and his little response to me started this assault by lunatics against me. And I was just trying to, I just throwing something out there that was moderately common sense. Hey, don't assign motives to people when you can't really know what their motives are. I mean, it kind of maybe sounds like he's a little smug, but I'm a little smug because I haven't done any of that stuff either. But I'm not smug. I'm just telling you that's what I did or didn't do. I was just careful. I used some common sense, and guess what? I didn't get it. Maybe I will in the future. Maybe, but you will. Oh, I don't know. But like it is just lunacy everywhere you go. It's just like nuts. Hey, Chris Persia, thanks for popping in. Sorry, I was rambling and wasn't paying attention to the chat, so I apologize. So let's see, Jeff Dunham's peanut character, hands going meow. yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy. I wonder that Shatner's reply would be about the 42-year-old BBC radio announcer who took the jab and then had a blood clot in her brain and expired. Yeah. I mean, why is it a terrible, terrible thing to go, this vaccine was produced faster than any other vaccine in history. Now, and I don't care. I don't care whether it was Donald Trump that was president. I don't care whether it was Joe Biden that was president. I don't need politicians telling me what to do with my health. Okay. And I don't need the moron Dr. Fauci, who's changed his mind more times than I have changed underwear in my life, which is a lot. Don't like, yeah, I'm not wearing the same underwear I was born in. So, but I mean, it just, I didn't like it when Trump was telling everybody to do it. I didn't like it when Biden's telling everybody to do it. I'm just like, hey, I got a better idea. I'm not going to stick anything in my body that I haven't waited a while to see if people start growing third arms out of their forehead. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to. I'm going to wait and make sure that nothing is awful. You know, like that it doesn't sterilize people. I'm not having any more kids, so maybe that whole sterilizing thing would be good. But I mean, my wife, we can't have kids anymore. That's over for us. So I mean, but how many? I mean, what if that was a side effect that nobody knew about yet? I mean, it's like, Anyway, but yeah, to them it's impossible, and I'm wrong, even though things could. Yeah, no, it's just they think it's strange. Yes, the fact that most African country is barely advanced from back proves that. Yeah, no, it's I don't know, but yeah. So unlikely the same time forever. Just as they claim, I'm sorry, no culture stays exactly the same. Maybe. Yeah, I mean they're going to change some, but they're not going to. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to know what would have happened had the interference not happened, or I mean, but seriously, what happened was inevitable. It was inevitable. weaker cultures always fall to more advanced cultures. If aliens showed up tomorrow in spaceships and whatever, we'd be screwed, because they're a more advanced culture. No matter whether we think we own this land or own this planet or whatever, if they want it and they have the power, they can take it, and that's what happens. It's not really a right or wrong thing. It's just what happens. It's the force of nature. It is what life forms do. They move, they spread, they grow. It's just, I don't know. It's a crazy thing. Sorry, now I'm still getting behind. Best thing COVID did, people fish off, walk. yeah, but then they're just like, oh, so you're trying to commit murder on me. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I just want people to stop trying to tell everybody else what to do. I mean, really, that's what I mean. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to mistreat anybody. I don't want to, I'm not sure why, people can't just have differing opinions and not lose their minds and attack each other. But anyway, sorry, I'm reading, I'm reading chats when I should be talking. Dead air. That's what we used to call dead air in radio. They're flat rounding knowledge your side, but they can't. It's pathetic. If people can't see the common sense, yes. Curtis, I think I've lost the thread of what you're saying. If I have, I apologize. But yeah, sorry, I'm venting too. I'm gonna have to go back and read your comments again, Curtis, because I think I lost. I lost what you were saying in the shuffle there. For COVID Delta strain. Oh, that's good, I guess. Anyway, so we're going to get off that topic because nobody wants to talk about it. But I just thought it was strange. I thought it was strange that I got sucked into this drama over something like that, and it just seemed bizarre to me that things went crazy that way so quickly by just kind of making a random comment. Sorry, I seem to have something in my eye. But I also wanted to talk tonight about the Lord of the Rings stuff that's been going on. Everybody's been talking about this. So I don't know. It's a strange thing that happened this week with, and I'm not even going to say the name of the website because I'm not going to give them any more. That's why I didn't put it in my title crawl. That's why I didn't. I don't want to give them it because I think that's what it was all about. I think that this website that was originally founded to just kind of push the movies that were coming out a few years ago. They're probably not having a whole lot happen for them right now because, I mean, you'd think they would with the potential for Amazon's catastrophic, horrible show that they're planning. But so anyway, this whole kerfuffle rose because suddenly this website decided to start crapping on all of Tolkien's fans. And started interjecting current day politics into stories that were written decades ago. And this is a special subject to me because I have a very special place in my heart for The Lord of the Rings, for anything J.R.R. Tolkien. Because the guy was a genius. He was a master. He was a linguist. He was an amazing writer. The guy was a genius, in my opinion. He created something that just gets bigger and better the longer it's out there. And what I mean by that, it grows in like love. Everything that you kind of see or hear about it just makes you want to see and hear more. And I want that in my life. And so it's one of those things where I couldn't believe it was happening. I couldn't believe that a website that was affiliated with Tolkien in the way that this was allowed to go crazy like this, and that nobody stepped in and went, "Hey, shut up. I want you to delete all that crap you just wrote on Twitter. You are freaking out the fan base and stuff." But that's like the new thing is drive fan bases crazy, push fans away, make people angry. And why? Why are they doing that? How do they possibly think that helps them? But I mean, I was listening to Loki, and I listened to Just Some Guy, which I love. Just Some Guy. I never miss that one of his videos. He is fantastic. I love his takes. He is very smart, a lot of fun to listen to. And I mean, the responses, and that's kind of what got all this going, was that this website was going through their tweets and tweeting stuff, and then people started to notice the crap that they were spewing out about Tolkien was woke, and Tolkien was this, and Tolkien was that, and he, or in the same breath they were like, Tolkien was woke, but he was also a racist because he said the black people were bad guys in this, and orcs are representative of black people, and it's like, what? No, they're not. They're oh, good Lord. But I mean, it was just crazy stuff. And, so Just Some Guy tweeted back to him, and he's just like, what are you talking about? Basically just called them out on their crap. And he's like, man, you need to respect the lore. You need to understand like what you're talking about. You have no clue what you are actually talking about. Yes, just Sumner. Eskimo, Hobbits, Jamaican elves, Irish dwarves are very known in Lord of the Rings. Okay, I can only prove the Irish dwarves. Yes, but that is exactly what it's like. It's like, no. Oh, and by the way, Tolkien never described his characters. I've heard a lot of people talking about that today, and I'm just like, yeah, yes, he did. He described the crap out of his characters. He described their hair color, their eye color, where they came from, what their, like, the genealogical tract of the elves. I mean, if you've read the Silmarillion, which I finally have, and stuff, and I love it. It is fantastic. If you've not read the Silmarillion, go read the Silmarillion. Get the audiobook. It's good. That's one thing I have to say. I wish they would redo the original Lord of the Rings trilogy audiobooks is done by Robert Inglis. Robert Inglis may be great at a lot of things. Reading J.R.R. Tolkien books was not one of them. And he sings the songs, which I love the songs that Tolkien put into his works. He sang all of the songs in all of the stories in the same tempo with the same melody. I'm just like, can somebody get him can somebody get him a musical teacher or something? I mean, can we get somebody in here to teach him a different song? I mean, just plunk out some notes on the keyboard and let him know that there are actually other notes in music. Seriously, he'll put you into a coma. I mean, like I said, it's not that he has a bad voice or whatever, but it's very kind of not dramatic, very kind of monotone. And it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, what? Oh, that's right. Listening to Lord of the Rings. I'm good. I'm back now. But yeah, which is sad because they're so good. It's like they need to go and get like Ian McKellen to read them. They need to go get Stephen Fry. He does a great job with audiobooks. They need to just go find really great British actors and have them read the books and do a redo of those and make them better. Hey, Lady Mist, how are you doing? But yeah, they're so good. But anyway, I mean, if you read the Silmarillion, it talks about the genealogy of the people of Middle Earth from the beginning of the creation of the world all the way through the ages that we know of Middle Earth. And you think he didn't talk about the appearance of his characters? Oh hell no, he talked about all of them. He describes some of the women's beauty. He describes some of the men's strength and all of these different things. Not just how they looked, but their characteristics and what their characters were like, and what their mannerisms. And it's just like, but apparently this website that shall remain nameless didn't bother to read the books. I don't know if they even watched the movies, because the movies were pretty clear on this. Where do you think Peter Jackson got it? Where do you think he got, when he was casting people? Where do you what I mean? And that's just it. When Peter Jackson was doing this, he wasn't thinking, I need 3 black guys, 2 Hispanics, like just another nerd said, I need some Jamaicans. We got to have at least 53 Asians in there, because there's a lot of those. We need, you know what I mean? It's just, he didn't do that because that's not what. And I have a question. Why is it okay that white driven stories, like Lord of the Rings, that were predominantly about Northern European white cultures, can be culturally appropriated, which is an idiotic term. I don't understand that whole cultural appropriation nonsense thing anyway. But like, why is it okay to do that? But if I wear a sombrero and a poncho and go trick-or-treating on Halloween, I should be shot for cultural appropriation. I don't really even understand the whole blackface thing. Like, why don't they see the? If I say I wanted to dress up as George Washington Carver or Barack Obama, and I wasn't but why is that a terrible thing? I don't understand. Oh, you're making fun of black people. But wait. So, but the Wayans brothers can make a movie called White Chicks, where they dressed up, put on makeup, made themselves white women, and that was fine. The Wayans will never be called out. Damon Wayans and whoever else was there, they will never be called out for that movie. That they put on whiteface. Why is that? Why is that okay? Why can one do it but the other can't? And they were making fun of white people just as much as some people have put on blackface to make fun of I don't. The world that we live in right now is just crazy. It makes absolutely no sense. Everything has been turned on its head. Everything is upside down. And I just don't understand why. I don't understand where this has come from. I know where it's come from, but I just don't understand how it's got as far as it has without somebody going, yeah, no. This is like, we're gonna stop the crazy train now because everybody wants off, and I don't get it. I don't know why this, nobody has a sense of humor anymore. Nobody can take a joke. Everything is life or death. Everything is just like, you said I don't know, I was pink colored. I'm going to kill you. What? Why? Oh, you were just a slight. You're Mexican. You're a Mexican descent person. Well, I'm way upset now. Why? Why can't we laugh at ourselves? Nobody can laugh at themselves. Nobody can laugh at other people. I mean, we've seen this in comedy. The comedy that they're doing right now, with the exception of a few like Bill Burr, I just lost his name. Did a comedy special. You can see his face. He's a black comedian. But there's a few comedians that are still Dave Chappelle. There's a few comedians out there that are still doing funny stuff. But like most of it, it's not funny anymore. Because they've got to be so careful. I mean, when was the last time you saw Jim Gaffigan come out with a new album? I mean, it's been a couple years ago, and I think it's just because he's like, so what do I say? And I love Jim Gaffigan; he's freaking hilarious. But this crazy thing where nobody can take a joke. Everybody tries to interpret what people say instead of just taking them at their word. It was just like what happened to just some guy with the Lord of the Rings thing. Oh, well, people who say respect the lore, that means racism. What? And I put that in the tweet that he had put out. I was just like, no, respect the lore means respect in lore. That's what it means. That's all it means. That's it. Follow the story. Stay true to the source material, no matter what that source material is. If you're telling an African story with black people, stay true to the source material. You should not recast Black Panther as a white dude. You should not recast I'm trying to think of another Roots. Geordie LaForge, LeVar Burton's character in Roots should not be made a white guy. Stay true to the source material. And if you can't do that, put the source material down and walk the F away, because you have no business touching somebody else's work and trying to do something completely different with it than what they intended. I don't care what your creative vision is. All these people, all these Hollywood people are just like, I want to show the world my creative vision. Really? Well, then you need to go write your own thing, because Tolkien already wrote this thing. And it was really good the way he wrote it. And we don't need you to fix what isn't broken. But that's what these people do. They fix stuff till it's broken, until nobody recognizes anything and it's nothing's worth anything anymore. Sorry, I got ranting. Just another nerd. The fact is that American TV and movies have been the most diverse in the world for over 50 years. So anyone saying we need more knows nothing. But yes, amen, brother, totally. There was a discussion about the casting call for the live action Powder Puff. Oh, yes. Apparently, all the roles were open to any ethnicity, but the antagonist could only be white males. Yes, Chris Bergia. Amen, brother. And that's what it, really? When I just want to ask a question. Can I ask a question, teacher? When did I become the bad guy for everything? When did the fact that I was born white and a male make me the worst person on earth? Because, see, to black people and brown people and Asian people and everybody else, if anybody does that to them, boy, they freak out. You can't judge me because I'm black. You can't judge me because I'm Asian. You can't judge me because of the shape of my eyes. You can't. All right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't do that. That's terrible. So don't do it to me. Don't do it to another group. It's just. And I'm sorry. I love women, but women can be bad guys too. Women can be just as bat crap crazy as men can be. See, it's just, every group has bad actors in it. I don't mean actors, but I mean bad people in it. But yeah, you mean Topeka from the West? No. Well, no. No, that would be bad. Because plans have been so unbalanced in the plane of those low and the scale tip are done with it, but the story's written changed. Going to yeah, and yes, make new stories, write your own stuff. If you want gay, homosexual, transgendered elves, black transgendered elves, go write that story. Go get some pen and a paper, sit down at a computer, and right away, write your story. Go crazy, go nuts. But don't take somebody else's work and screw with it. They're talking about doing redoing Willow or continuing on with the Willow story, from Lucasfilm, Willow Wafka. And I'm just like, oh Lord, please no. And they're talking about redoing Highlander, and I'm just like, no. That one sent me over the edge when I heard they were going to do that. And I know Henry Cavill's supposed to be being cast in, and I love Henry Cavill, but just no. You cannot redo perfection. If you want to tell before stories or after stories, that's fine. No, that's not fine either. I'm lying. That's not fine because they'll screw it up. Because there'll be a woman immortal who's come out of the ocean or something. She's the most immortally immortal that's ever been immortal. And I'll just lose my mind. Why is it a bad thing to have just a guy film? Let me give you an example. Predator, the original Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the guy from Rocky. I just lost his name. If anybody remembers, the big black guy. You had Jesse the Body Ventura. You had one of the guys who acted in the old War of the Worlds TV show. So I don't know the names of a lot of them. But I mean, that whole cast was men. That whole cast was male cast. The only woman in that movie was the girl that they find, and they keep her, and she's trying to get away until the alien starts killing everybody, and then she gets real interested in being protected. But like that is a total guy driven film. Why is that a bad thing? Why can we not have a totally guy driven film without super strong women? And don't get me wrong, I love strong women in films. I love Sarah Connors. I love Ripley from Aliens. I mean, there are all kinds, and that's not even getting into the animation side of things. I mean, but why? Why can't I just have this and we can have that? Why do we have to have this constant intermixing mix of women and men and transgender and gay and straight and black and Asian? And why can't I just pick who I want? Why can't I just pick who's the best actor for the job? And I don't know, do that and make a great movie because I got the best actors for the job, and I didn't care what color they were, who they slept with, what I mean, nothing, how tall they were. I mean, you look at the guy that they got to play Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I'm getting so older. Something's wrong with me. I can't remember things anymore. Hugh Mortensen. No, it's gone. I keep wanting to say Hugo Weaving, but he was the one that played Elrond. But the guy that plays a Strider, and Aragorn, he is nothing like what he is described in the book. Zero, nothing. Oh, that's a it's a racist sign now. I used to call. I mean, this used to be okay. When I was growing up, this just meant a-okay. But now I'm a racist if I do it. Anyway, so yes, thank you, Chris. Viggo Mortensen. I knew it was Mortensen. I just couldn't think of his first name. I kept thinking Hugo, and I'm like, no, he was Elrond. But yeah, no, I mean, he looks nothing like Aragorn. in the way the books describe him. Strider, he was called Strider because he was freaking tall. He was like 6'7" or something like that. He was a big guy. And they called him Longshanks because when he started walking, he was seriously walking. And I thought that was going to bother me. But you know what? There we go again. Gosh, Viggo Mortensen nailed that role. Nailed it. Now I can't imagine anybody else playing that character. He was fantastic. And you know why? Because Peter Jackson knew he was going to make a freaking awesome Aragorn. He didn't exactly look or fit the character. He just picked the best damn guy that auditioned for the role to do it. Now there are black guys that are 6'7". I mean, he could have went into any NBA star and went, yeah, he's big. He's big. He looks, other than the skin color, looks just like what Aragorn would look like. And we'd have got the worst Aragorn in the world because he couldn't act. I mean, or some big white pro wrestler. They could have went and got some big muscle bound guy. I mean, you had Sean Bean as Boromir. Freaking fit. But Boromir's described very similar to Aragorn, slightly smaller but very big. But I mean, Sean Bean nailed that role. Freaking fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, that cast was just brilliant. Just brilliant. Sorry, I'm off not paying attention. Yeah. So back to what Lady Miss started talking about before I went off on a. But yeah, I mean, new adventures, new heroes. Why can't they do it? Manga can do it. Manga can do it 7 ways to Sunday, but we can't. But Hollywood can't come up with something new. It's because they're risk averse. They're all about money and getting that money. So they're going back to old IPs and changing things instead of just coming up with something new. I'm just like, that's riskier than just trying to start something new. The Black Superman thing. Why? Superman has never been and never will be black, even if you make your Black Superman movie. It doesn't matter. He's still not going to be black. And not because black people can't be super. Because black people can't be Superman. Black people can't be Clark Kent because Clark Kent was Clark Kent. How is this a difficult concept to master? I just don't get it. Yeah, the wackiest thing is that the majority of people calling white people evil also. Yes, they are. Isn't that psychotic? These people who self-hate themselves. I'm just like, you were beaten a lot as a child, weren't you? You had a very sad existence. Your parents didn't like you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you know what? Don't hate the rest of us because you were just a douchebag growing up. Nobody likes you now. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, stop changing the story. Stop destroying our lore. Stop, Taika Waititi. Leave our mythos alone. Don't destroy it in a minute. How about you just go away? If that's what you want to do, just go away. But yeah, and a Frenchman playing a Scot and a Scot playing an Egyptian. Yes, but it was freaking fantastic, wasn't it? Oh my God, I have seen that movie so many times, and it gets better every time I see it. I mean, even though some of the graphics aren't the top of the line anymore, the final sequence where he defeats Kurgan and he's up in the air and the things are flying around, just like, you realize that's old technology, but it's still freaking fantastic. And you know what? The French guy did pretty good with the Scottish accent. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I mean, he also played Raiden he played a character that technically should have been an Asian character in the Mortal Kombat movie. And he was so good. He was so good in the original Mortal Kombat film. But I mean, yeah, it's just like, you get the right person for the job and then you make that work, even if they don't have the perfect British accent, or even if they don't have the perfect American Texan accent, which it's really hard to mess that one up. Anybody can do a Texan accent. So, I mean, I just, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I'm okay with a female cast movie. I mean, okay, I'm about to like have to turn in my man card here, but I love the movie Steel Magnolias. All right, sorry. Oh. Here's my card. I'll turn it in. But I love Steel Magnolias. It's hilarious. It's funny. Weezer is one of my favorite characters in that film. I just lost Shirley MacLaine, who plays Weezer in that. you got. I mean, it's a tremendous cast of women, and I like that movie. I mean, yeah, it's kind of chicky in some parts, but I like that movie. Why? I mean, it had male characters in it, but predominantly they were like back secondary side characters. They were not the main focus of the story. They were in there, but they just weren't there. And oddly enough, I was okay with that. I was okay with the mostly female cast in Fried Green Tomatoes. I thought that was a freaking it's chick film, but it's a fantastic movie. Why can't we have some? I mean, where's that diversity? Where's the diversity of just? I don't want to see the same thing all the time. I don't want to see because if we get into this thing where we're only focused on diverse casts, so we have an Asian, we have a black guy, we have a white guy. He's the bad guy. We have a white girl and a black girl and then a lesbian girl and a lesbian. Bisexual, trans. I mean, you know what I mean? If you hit that diverse cast every single time, doesn't that actually become no longer diverse? Because if everybody's making movies with a diverse cast, it's just like that saying, if everybody's special, nobody's special. If all you make is diverse cast films, then all you're making is diverse cast films. And now they're not diverse anymore. They're a uniform, standardized form of diversity that isn't diverse because all the films have that formula in them. And it's like it's just like this is not hard. If anybody has just an ounce of common sense, you can figure this stuff out. But it's like they don't want to. Lady Mrs. Winkin. But yeah, so I mean, they've already done the Highlander remake and the TVs. Yeah, and that's a good point, Chris Persia. Oh my gosh, Highlander 2. Quite possibly one of the worst sequels ever made. And it had Sean Connery and it had Christopher Lambert. And was it so bad? So bad. And the third one, I didn't even see it because I was just like, nope. They said the third one was a little bit better, but I'm just like a little better than completely unwatchable. I don't think that's not okay. That's not okay. Oh my gosh, just so yeah. And if you couldn't even make a sequel, how are you going to make a remake and make it work? You couldn't you couldn't capture that lightning in a bottle for the sequel, let alone a complete remake with a whole completely new cast. No. Nope. You just don't. No. So I just leave it alone. That there are things that should just be left alone. That they are the best version of themselves, of that film, and that's where it needs to stop. Like they were talking about remaking Princess Bride, and I swear if they try and remake Princess Bride, I'm going to hunt somebody down in Hollywood and make sure that does not happen. That's not a threat, just a joke. You can't remake Princess Bride. You cannot remake that movie. It's like Highlander. It's the lightning in the bottle. You can't catch it again. Just let it be the magnificent film that it is. The one-off, never to be repeated, magnificent film that it is. It's like trying to remake Citizen Kane. You can't remake Citizen Kane, and you shouldn't even try. You cannot remake The Wizard of Oz. Don't try. They did. They tried several times, and they've never pulled it off. Never. Because you just can't do it again. There are certain things you just need to let go. But yeah, so you want females to go beg be the victims of Coffee Fletcher's The Silent Suite. Had all my life growing up. Shoe never left my foot. I know I'm supposed to say no here, but yeah. I'm just kidding, Lady Miss. No, I just don't want conformity of any kind. I don't want other than just be a good person. Can we have that kind of conformity? I'm okay with that. Decent, honest, honorable, good human beings. Can we get some of that? I'll conform to that. But this, what they're doing now, it's not any of those things. But yeah, no. Yeah, barefoot and pregnant, Lady Miss. That's how I like my women. That's how I like my women. Barefoot and pregnant. Oh, I think I clicked on it. I think it's got that one twice somehow. Why? It's just another nerd. Yes, I know a lot of women who can't. I know some women who can't like burn water. Actually, funny story. Side note. Sidebar, Your Honor. My wife burned water one time. Seriously, burned water. I didn't think you could. I thought that was a joke. I thought, no, it's not really. You can't do that. It's not even a real thing. Yes, it totally is. So she was steaming some vegetables, and she walked away, and the water boiled out of the pot. And when I walked in there, the pan itself, I did not know you could catch metal on fire just on a household stove. I mean, I thought you had to be in a factory with like giant flames and millworks and, giant metal pots pouring, I thought you had to be in like the Terminator 2 Judgment Day kind of factory to make metal melt. But no, not in my house. We managed to pull it off. But seriously, the bottom of the pan was so black, we had to like scrub it, and then soak and scrub it. From water. So you can burn water. You can burn water. And my wife did. She's pretty good to cook, but yes, it's possible. Strong male heroes and strong female heroes. That would be, I know, right? Why can't we just have, and what's wrong with a damsel in distress once in a while? I like damsels. I married a damsel, but she's strong. My wife's a registered nurse. She's like she's the manager of her department I did not marry some kowtowed little woman. No, she's smart. She knows her stuff. She is a great nurse. People love her. And that's not me saying that. That's like, we'll be walking in stores and people will recognize my wife in like a Walmart full of people, and people will recognize my wife and be like, "Hey, you're the girl that was at the fair," and everybody knows her. And they're just like, "I loved you. You were so great." So, yes, but can we not have a dad? And I'm okay if every once in a while we have I don't know what the term for a dude, we can have a dude in distress. You look at Ripley. Ripley, the guy got hurt. Bishop's in the ship. And Ripley's the one that goes down to rescue Newt. Hicks got burned by the acid, so she saves Hicks. She gets him. He's the damsel in distress in that moment of the film, and she gets him out to the ship, and then she goes back for. Why? It's okay to have, different sexes saving people in films. It's actually all right. It's possible. It really is. But yeah, no, I'm jumping all over. I apologize. I just maybe it's because of you guys in the chat and stuff, which you guys are fantastic. Thank you for coming. You guys make this so much more fun than me just sitting here going blah 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 blah. Yeah, Kirk. Oh my gosh, Clancy Brown. He is so epic in that role. When he is in the car singing and freaking her out is so great. Oh, when he's sitting in the church, happy Halloween, ladies. Ah. He's just tremendous. Oh, I love that guy. He just nailed that role. Chick flick. Now more I love Conan the Barbarian. Conan the Destroyer was okay. The remake of Conan with Jason Momoa was it had Jason Momoa and he couldn't save that movie. I mean, that's how bad that movie was. It was so bad. I was I'm sorry. Triggered. I apologize. So bad. But yes, Conan. Oh my gosh. Conan the Barbarian is an epic film. I own the soundtrack. I own the film. I mean, I listened to that soundtrack all the way through. The wenching, the orgy sequence, which that's actually what it's called, is the orgies. I mean, this is so great. That movie's so good. And I mean, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime when he was just coming off being Mr. Universe. I mean, gee, what is best in life, Conan? To crush your enemies, to see your enemies driven in front of you and hear the lamentation of their women. It's so good. Oh, it's almost 5 a.m, so I'm glad. Thanks for coming, just another nerd. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I understand. I lived in the UK for a while, so I know you guys are quite a bit ahead of us, but thank you for being here. So Gina Davis was great protagonist and you know something else she was great in? Cutthroat Island, which people forget about. Cutthroat Island. I don't know if you guys have seen Cutthroat Island. It wasn't the best pirate movie of all time, but I love that movie. It was so good. As far as a pirate film goes, I went and saw that in the theater, and I loved that. And I loved her as one of the main pirate bad guy. I mean, it showed that but you know what? There's no heroes. I mean, women never get cast in the main role. Never. Not once. Except for Gina Davis and Cutthroat. I mean, this is so stupid. That is so stupid. Oh. Hey, NB Geek. Thanks for popping in. Glad to see you. Yeah, it's just sorry. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. I got backed up here. I have something to get off my chest. The alphabet people, active duty veterans, and those who died. Only get it. Yes. Well, it's just like Black People Month in February, and women get a month, and then this person gets a month, and that person. Who decides who gets these things? Is it like Congress? Is it like who is it picking these months and days for who gets what? Because it's yeah, I agree, MB. It's that's not right. It's so bad. It's so bad and such a disrespectful thing. How are veterans a bit? Don't get me going on that. I have family members that have served. I mean, I never did, but I was like this close to serving at one time. And then Bill Clinton got elected, and I'm like, okay, I'm not having him as my commander in chief. And then by the time he got out, I was just like, well, I'm old and I'm married. So, but yes, that is tragic. NB Geek. Historical comedy dramas, martial arts shows, and movies are what I watch, and I great shoot. Lady Mist. Surprised what women can. Yes. No, actually, I'm not surprised at what women can do. I am married to. Yeah, I just got a little heart flutter there, Lady Mist. You just if I wasn't married, I'd be your stalker. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta tell you, we went camping this last weekend, and my daughters shot 12 gauge shotguns we were doing skeet shooting, and I was flipping the skeet out, and my 15-year-old daughter, second shot, first time she's ever shot a shotgun, nailed a pigeon. Just not a pigeon, but a clay pigeon, and shot the crap. I'm just like so proud. But see, I teach my daughters how to use guns, how to be around guns, how to be safe around guns. And you know what? Nobody in my family ever gets shot, and my kids, we have guns in our house and stuff. And guess what? Nobody shoots anybody. Nobody gets killed. Everybody's safe. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, nonsense. Yeah, nuts. Happy Halloween, ladies. But serious, the part in the car with Kurgan is my favorite. New York. Everybody chicken. Yes. It's better to burn out than fade away. Yes. Now remakes are not, I'm trying to think. There's got to be a remake sometime that was good. Nope, I'm not coming up with it. If you guys think of one, I mean, it's got to be one, right? One out of like all of the ones that they've done. Sex Breath. You're gonna have to explain that one, Lady Mist. You've lost me. Sex Breath. Was that a movie? I've never heard of that movie, Sex Breath. You know, I'm gonna have to look that up now. And you're gonna get me in trouble with my wife. She's gonna be like, "What are you watching?" Sex Breath. What? Man. She doesn't sound like that. Actually, she kind of does when she's talking to me like that. But yeah. Now she's raising her eyebrows at me. Chris Persia, I'll be waiting for you to rescue me, Gina Davis. Be in just a minute. Oh man, I'm getting too far behind on these chats. Or the yeah. Most fun shooting rockets at tanks. But then they oh, those bastards. Oh, yes. Oh, and then no. Lady Miss is saying no to I must have missed something there again. Sorry. I got behind on the chat and I'm like desperately trying to catch up to get to where you guys are. But yeah, no, these my whole thing is no more remakes, no more sequels, no more messing with IPs, no more of any of this stuff until Me Too is over, until woke is over, until people come back to their senses and stop trying to control and manipulate other people's lives and control their choices. I just no more, not supporting it, not going to be a part of it. This new Lord of the Rings or Second Age Amazon TV show, not watching it because I'm sorry. Game of Thrones was okay. I like Game of Thrones, but they should have just called that show Game of Porn because that's all it was. It was just boobs and boobs. And I'm a LDS Christian guy, so I'm just like, you know what? And I'm not a prude. I know what boobs look like. My wife has some, and you know, and I'm okay with swearing. I swear I shouldn't, but I'm a truck driver, and there's just a lot of parts of my yeah. I'm a very conflicted human being. But anyway, I just first met you as you learn muffins. Now you want. You were saying. Or it might be wrong. I was just okay. It's just, okay. Sorry, Lady Miz. I'm with you now. I've caught up. So, but that's I just wanted to do kind of an impromptu stream tonight, talk about some stuff. I think I ran half the people off from the first of my stream because I got ranting about the Wuhan cold. and stuff. And it just, you know what? I just want to return to common sense, or I just want to return to normality. And then I got off on American Indians, and then I got off on, it kind of went off the rails at the first. I had like 5 or 6, and then I said something, and like it just went, like everybody laughed. It was like, wonder how many subscribers I just lost. Because you know what? I'm not politically correct. If you come here looking to hear your views parroted back to you, if you come here looking for for like I'm not politically correct. I'm not a racist. I'm not any of the things that we're called and stuff like that. But I probably misspeak and say things that like, I probably shouldn't say that way. But I never think about that till after I've already said something that I probably shouldn't have said. So it's just, but no, I seriously, I hope nobody ever gets mad. It's just like, I'm out of here because of something I said. I hope somebody would come back to me and go, hey, speaker, would you said this crazy thing, and I just wanted to make sure that you didn't really believe that, because that's batshit crazy, Brian. No, but seriously, I love you guys. Thank you for coming to my streams. This was fun tonight, just an impromptu, and now I feel better because I vented and we've talked, and I'm all good. I can probably go to sleep and not wake up screaming. And that's always good, I mean, that's a good night. That's a good night when I can go to bed and not wake up wanting to just be like, oh yeah. So we got some more chats here. They say they want to make include everyone included in the series. Franchise works, but who wants to be? But who some want to be? Oh yes, who somebody's sleeping with has become the absolute paramount concern. It's like, hey, you're a great person. I love you're a wonderful guy. You say, I mean, you help with charities, and you adopt small children that are about to be put to sleep. I mean, you know what I mean? You save animals, you save puppies and kittens and little duckies from getting run over and stuff, but you don't like it if 2 dudes sleep together. So I hate your guts now. It's just like, well, yeah, I said I didn't necessarily like 2 guys sleeping together, but I didn't say they can't, and I didn't say I hate them for it, and I didn't say a lot of things that you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm against gay marriage, but you know what? It's mainly because of the dilution of the term of marriage. It's like, call it something else. I don't get civil unions, love partners for eternity, whatever you want to call it. But it's just like marriage. Words should mean things. Words should not get changed just on a whim. I mean, that was my whole thing. Hey, you want to sleep with whoever you want to sleep with? Go for it. Go for it. Hey, I'm not you. You're not me. I don't have to deal with the consequences of your choices. You don't have to deal with the consequences of my choices. Just you do you. You do you, but how about this? Leave me out of it. That's all I want. Just I don't want to be a part. So anyway, I won't. Yeah, me too, Lady Mist. I'm done. I'm out. I'm like, I mean, I might give it 3 sets, but I mean, I have not seen a single episode of Star Trek Discovery because I learned enough about the show before it came out that I was just like, no way in hell. There's no way in hell. And I'm so glad, because now I don't have that in my brain. And I could listen to other people talk about it, and I'm just like, I have no idea what they're talking about, but it sure is funny. I mean, to hear Loki talk about Discovery, it's hilarious. But I'm like, I don't care, because it's not my brain. I'm not going to pollute my head with that stuff, because I'm an extremely visual person, visual learner. Once it's in here, it's like in here, I see it in my head. So it's not always a good thing. Sorry, I've been dealing with the good old argument I was in. Had to explain. I don't need to put my. There's no talking, only arguing. I don't want it. Oh yeah, no, you're good, Curtis. It's all good. Sometimes I get rolling off on things, and sometimes I don't realize what I've said. So like, if I ever say anything that that like tweaks you out, or just message me. I'll clear it up, because I'm really not a horrible person. you know, all the time. But yeah, no, you have your views on how I'm talking. Yeah. Yeah. Why can't we? I mean, why can't we just, can't we all just get along? Seriously. I mean, I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. And that doesn't mean we can't be the best of friends or just, I mean, like I said, I don't hate anybody except for, okay, that's a lie. I don't like people who try and do terrible things to, I don't like people who try and destroy the world I live in, you know? I'm just saying. Or destroy my entertainment. And I'm not okay with that. Not okay. Not even a little. So, but yeah, no, it's I love talking to humans that have different ideas. Yeah. Yeah, and as long as they're not like, you must believe what I believe, I'm okay with that. But like the crazy psycho people I was dealing with on Twitter today, I'm just like, you know what? Mm-mm. I'm glad you live wherever you live, and I'm glad I live where I live, because those two worlds will probably never touch, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, no, words should mean that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, because this is beginning to become the longest stream in the world, but the story of the Tower of Babel in the Bible. I don't. I look at things differently when I read the Bible and stuff, because I think God works through a natural means. I don't think God just goes, "Hey, there's some trees." I think he works through a natural means. I think he uses science. I think he's, anyway, that's my view on God. But when they talk about that story of the Tower of Babel, I think that was a natural thing. I don't think God had to do anything. They were wicked, horrible people who just were doing terrible stuff, and they corrupted their own language. And I watch I watch what's happening right now, and I'm like, that's exactly how I think this is exactly how that happened. When we corrupted our own language, so that when I'm talking to okay, I'm kind of a conservative person, and I'm talking to a liberal person, and me and him or her or whatever are using the same words, but we understand them to mean completely different things. That's exactly what they were talking about in the Tower of Babel. People changed their language so much, changed the meanings, that they could use the exact same words and not understand each other. I think that's what happened. I think God stood back and just went, "Okay, I'm out. You people are nuts. Enjoy your crumbling tower and the fact that you can't understand each other now. That's gonna work out real good." But yeah, no, it's yeah, I know, right? And I like words. I like words. I like vocabulary. That's why I like science fiction and fantasy. It's been proven through studies that if you watch science fiction and fantasy and stuff like that, you have a larger word vocabulary just automatically from the word, because half the time you'll hear a word and you're just like, I have no idea what that means. And you have to go look it up, and then you know the word. I remember one of my English teachers telling me that, and I'm just like, hey, that means I'm smart. I'm smart now. I watch science fiction. I know everything. But yeah, no, and I don't. Well, I tell my wife I know everything, which I don't think she believes me either. How about sleeping around? Just get that ring in the mountain of fire. Yeah, I said this on Loki's stream in his chat this morning. I don't need, or no, actually it was in, I can't remember whose stream it was. I was listening to streams while I was at work. But I don't, it was Purple Valkyries. Oh, lost my mind there for a second. She was talking about this subject with Lord of the Rings. And I'm just like, you know what I don't need to see? Bouncing bosoms frolicking across Middle Earth. I really don't need that. Tolkien didn't write it. I don't need Game of Thrones. You know, it's like that old commercial where the girl's walking one way and the guy's walking the other, and she trips and whoops, the chocolate bar goes in the peanut butter. Now, you got your chocolate in my peanut butter. No, you got your peanut butter in my chocolate. Oh, this is so good. Buy Reese's peanut butter cups. It's like that. It's like, keep your Game of Thrones out of my Lord of the Rings, because if there's an accidental oops and they go together, they don't go together. That's like mixing oil and water. It's not peanut butter and chocolate. It's like gasoline and fire. Bad things are going to happen. Like that's not a happy accident. That's a horror show and a complete destruction of the lore. Why people think we need to see people's boobs and penises and stuff 24 hours a day, I'll never get. You know what? I know how that stuff works. I know what they look like. I don't need to see it. I like the old films where, you know, there's man and woman there in the bedroom and they're kissing and they're laying down and stuff. And then all of a sudden it pans away to a horse frolicking through a field. You know what's happening. You still know what's going on. And my imagination is way better than what Hollywood does most of the time. I'm kind of outing myself as a closet pervert. No, I apologize. But seriously, like, I don't need to see that stuff to know what's going on. I didn't need the sex scene in the second Matrix movie. Why? You know, it just didn't need to be there. Really? I need to see Keanu Reeves and Carrie Moss's butt. Well, Carrie Moss's butt was hard. No, just kidding. But seriously, I mean, oh, thanks. My wife would totally disagree with you, Curtis. I mean, she'd be like, mm-mm. Of course, she just doesn't like the fact that I when we disagree, I jump on my Harley and I go for a ride. So, no, but MB Geek says someone posts on Twitter, and then you see Bill Paxton. What is the first movie that comes to mind? Weird Science, Terminator, Aliens, Predator 2. Yes. That's all I can say to that. MB Geek is yes. They all come to my mind. All. Especially, I love him in Weird Science. He plays the best Nick brother. So funny. But Aliens, it's game over, man. Game over. It's great. I mean, that is like one of the most memorable lines from that movie. Why don't you put her in charge? I'm sorry. I'll start quoting Aliens. I love that movie. Shouldn't have said anything like that. Yes, stay in your cities, and I will stay in my city. Yes, I live in Idaho. It's one big stick area. It's one big rural, except for Boise, which is on the other side of the state from where I live. So we don't have the crazies here. In fact, the crazies tried to come here to do Black Lives Matters riots in the cities of Idaho. They were met at the cities by armed citizens who were like, yeah, go ahead. Just try and burn something. They got back on the buses and left. And I'm like, oh, I love Idaho. It's the best. It's right there with Texas and some other free states. If you don't live in Idaho, I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm having squirrel moments. I apologize. The one thing that I hated from the movie was the last one. They had Frodo turn on. Yeah, that never happened. You're right. The Lord of the Rings. I'm just like, no. Mm-mm. When the Lord of the Rings Return of the King cartoon got that part of the story right and Peter Jackson got it wrong, I'm just like, really? Rankin and Bass can pull this off, but you can't? How many millions of dollars did you have, Rankin and Bass? Like we're in was it an apartment, like drawing pictures? I mean, serious. But I love the Hobbit cartoons. They're all great. The second with the Fellowship of the Ring was kind of weird because it was a different animation style, but I still like that movie. I like anything Tolkien. So we did not need. I don't know. I kind of like this second mate. I like parts of it. I guess I should say that there was parts of the second Matrix and the third Matrix movies that I actually enjoyed. I actually did. But yeah, some of it I was just like, what? But yeah, hey, they're gonna make another one. Yay! And I'm sure Keanu Reeves will be a complete douchebag character now, and that some chosen girl will be the okay, well, whatever. See, I just stop. Don't make anything else right now. I actually am interested in a couple of movies. I have to admit, though, I saw trailers for them today. I think it's called Infinite. Has Mark Wahlberg. That actually looks kind of okay. And then there's a new Hugh Jackman movie coming out called Reminiscence. I was like, well, maybe they still can make a good movie. I don't know. I don't know. I just saw the trailer, and you know how trailers go. It's like, well, it was good. They showed all the great parts of the movie in the trailer, and I didn't even need to come to the theater to see the movie. But I mean, I hope they're learning some lessons from films like Cruella and the magnificent emancipation of one Harley Cuckoo for Cocoa. You know, I hope they're learning from the fact that that's all going to go away. Yeah, yes, quotable. Aliens. Well, I just quote all movies, really, and now I quote a lot of anime. So, but me and my kids, we just sit there and go back and forth. Good luck coming to this. Yeah. That's it. Did Idaho was just like, hey, no, go away. Hey, Xenocide, thanks for popping in. The Tomorrow War. You're gonna have to explain that to me, Xenocide. Is that a movie or because that sounds familiar, but I'm missing it. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. We're going on an hour and a half. This is way longer than what I even planned on doing. But thank you guys for coming. This was so much fun, and I hope we all feel a little bit better. And if we do, then that's Amazon Prime. Okay, I'll go check it out. But yeah, so anyway, everybody have a great night. Be happy. I try and be positive. Today just really it was getting hard to be positive, so I needed to vent just a little. So thanks for being here and venting with me and talking me down off the cliff, because yeah, sometimes I need that. I don't like when they try and change. Yeah, just leave politics out. Why do you have to put politics in everything? Just please, for the love of God, all is holy, just stop doing that. I do feel all warm and fuzzy and stuff. Yeah, I know. I have that effect on people. No, I don't. Anyway, yeah. See, you know what? I have a hardest time with ending a stream, because I'm like, all right, bye everybody, and then as I'm over here looking for the buttons to turn off this, and it's just like, yeah, he's kind of stupid. He's not very professional with this whole YouTube thing. He kind of sucks. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming, and we will. I got a mosquito in here. We will talk to you guys next time. Sunday, we're doing Speaking with the Speaker. I'm going to have Adega Outlaw on with me. We are going to be talking Ergo Proxy, the anime. It is really a good anime. Very, very dark, very sinister, very like brain twister kind of thing. Mystery, keeps you guessing right to the end. I mean, it's a lot of fun. We're going to be doing that. We'll be doing that at 5:00, and that's all I know that I have coming up in the recent until the next Sunday. I do a live speaker or live speak. I do a live speaker every Sunday. I do a live show every Sunday at 5. So anyway, thanks for coming, and we'll talk to you guys next time.